Hello and welcome to round 15 of the TRR 2020 Championship. I'm Peter Butcher and today I'm joined in the commentary box again by Thilo Falkenberg. Today we've got a 12 lap races, two 12 lap races at KY3 in the XRR. Each are going to be 12 laps and the second race is reverse grid based on the results of the first race. Hi Thilo.
Great.
How's it going?
Oh, wonderful. I mean, it's the second time we're going to see the XRR driven around LFS track.
Yeah, qualifying is about to get underway, hopefully anytime now. Got a whole bunch of cars. How many cars do we have today on the server right now?
Right now, 33 cars, if I count correctly.
33 cars, that's a nice number. Yeah, a couple of drivers just doing a few practice runs and then we'll be on our way for quali. But in the meantime, we will switch over to the team standing, the driver standings, sorry, and I will run you down the order for the championship order as it currently stands. In the lead of the championship right now, it's Nico Pantola for Yes Motorsport on 975 points. Then we've got Jan Wachowski in second place for Team Rock Racing with 896 points. Then it's Rick Cardle for Sidus, 846. Gavin Peat, 843. Then it's Gabor for Yes Motorsport on 812 points. Michael Malek for Master Race Car on 798. Then it's Darius from Yes Motorsport with 792, Jari Katila from World Class Lions, Tom Salmonen, who switched teams to Team Rock Racing in 9th place, and Joni Katila in 10th for World Class Lions. A little bit of a delay here while we wait for everyone to sort themselves out before qualifying gets underway. But hopefully that should happen any minute now, and we'll be able to head to the track for the start of this 20-minute qualifying session. Hello and welcome back. We are live for this qualifying session.
Yeah, cars are now leaving the pit lane. And they are going to have some space around this track. Nearly 7.2 kilometers, if I recall it correctly.
Yeah, it's a fairly decent length of lap. It's quite a long out lap here, so it'll be a long wait before the drivers come round to start their flying lap. So good job that it's quite a long qualifying session.
Some drivers still waiting in the pit lane. And one of the last cars that is now joining the track, it's Unite, I wanted to say, but he spectates immediately again. So might have had wrong setup or something.
Yeah, we're watching Upsas, who is having to let TJ past. TJ very eager to start his first time lap, getting plenty of heat through his tyres on what is a very long run round to start your timed laps here. We're watching Upsas for Yes Motorsport.
Yeah, TJ in fact was so eager to start his flying lap that he was too quick in pit lane, which doesn't matter right now, but yeah, that shows that he really wants to be the first one on the hot lap.
So
Upsas
TJ,
now.
yeah, TJ is gearing up for a lap. He's just exited the last corner. Upsas also doing the same. TJ crosses the start-finish line to begin his first timed lap.
Down through the first chicane and now into the first braking zone after two left-handers. Braking at around 100 meters into this right-hander, not hitting the apex here. Then it goes uphill through a sweeping section, a bit like what we see in Suzuka in the first sector. Then we go downhill and into the infamous that corner next. That corner because there once was a broadcast where each and everyone flipped here. At least it felt like that. He managed to do it well, and now it goes into the long left-hander onto the oval section. This corner never wants to end. You use all of the pit exit of the oval. Then you try to keep it down to the edge of the apron, in onto the start-finish straight, and now the quick left-right chicane. He cuts it pretty heavily, but there is no boothie chicane around here today, so for a qualifying lap, that's going to be okay. Oh, heavy drifting into the last braking zone and now accelerating out of it onto the Grand Prix start-finish straight, and the first lap around Kyoto Grand Prix Long is about done. 2 minute 11.55 for TJ.
Immediately displaced by Upsas on a 2-minute 10.28. Both of those drivers will head out for another timed lap. People probably only doing one timed lap per run here, just because of the length of the outlap and the length of the hot lap, it really puts a lot of heat through the R2 tyres.
A new fastest lap by Isaac Price, 2 minute 10.19.
Isaac Price, who has returned to LFS after a long spell away, competed in last weekend's Bagheera Zero Mileage GT Cup and seems to have enjoyed his return to the XRR so much that he's jumped in it again today for the races here today. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a bit of a shock to him, the reverse grid race, but we'll see. See how he does in the first race. We just saw B2R Toon having a bit of an incident out of the last hairpin. He'll have to go around again and set another 2.5 minute outlap before he can have a go at his hot lap. It does look like we've got a slightly extended qualifying session here today because of the length of the track. There are just under 19 minutes left, so I think we were on about 25 or 30 minutes of qualifying.
Yeah, I think 25.
25, okay. Isaac leading the times right now. Then it's Yes Motorsports Upsas, Conquest Racing Arco, Yoni Katilla in fourth, for World Class Lines. Then Yes Motorsport Trespasser in fifth. Today we are running on a new Twitch channel. We're running on the Sim Broadcasts Twitch channel. If you want to be notified of any future broadcasts that we do here, please consider following the channel. All of the future Teamwork Racing Championship 2020 broadcasts will come from here. So hit that follow button to be notified when we go live. 24 drivers have set a lap time. Over 30 out on the track, so we're still waiting for around 9 or 10 drivers to set their first lap times. Quite a broad range of times, wouldn't you say, Thilo? 7 seconds-ish separating the 24 drivers who've done their laps. Maybe a couple of those were doing warm-ups or maybe just decided to get a banker lap in, so at least they have a time on the board.
Well, if you could have seen the minute map, there were the one or the other spin, and I think that, for example, Magic completed his lap despite having spun around or having other issues on the lap, just to have one lap time save already. And he just improved to 2 minute 14, so it's now only in inverted commas 4 seconds between Isaac and Magic in the last position currently.
B2R Toon, after messing up the start of his last flying lap, has managed to get round and is now starting his second attempt. He's yet to post a time, so this is quite a crucial lap. But he does have about 15 minutes of the session left. But obviously wants to get a lap on the board. And we'll see how he gets on. Toon is a newcomer to this series, so he will get his 4 minutes of fame straight out of the gates as he makes his way up to the S's section in the second sector of the KY3 lap. Great car, great track this for the GT cars in Live for Speed. It's one of my favourite combinations. In fact, the XRR is my favourite car in Live for Speed, and KY3 is a fantastic track to enjoy the XR GTR. Famously difficult to drive because of its turbo lag.
Yeah, but then again, it's pretty rewarding if you can make good lap times with it.
Yeah, it's definitely good fun, and like you said, if you can complete a quick lap with it, you definitely feel good about it. Here comes Toon up to the non-boothie chicane, the standard chicane here, which does encourage cutting quite a bit, but you'll notice the yellow chalk lines which have been added as Toon runs out onto the grass, nearly throws his second lap away. He's slowing down again, so he's going to attempt number 3. He's really leaving it quite late. The car facing the wrong way, but we're focused on Jan Wikowski, otherwise known as Zeban. Currently second in the standings, Zeban. He's had a fantastic run of races over the last few weeks. Last week wasn't his best week by any stretch of the imagination, but still wasn't bad. So we'll see what he can manage today in the XRR. Zeban also doing quite well in the Bagheera Zero Mileage GT Cup. Isaac's still out front with a 2 minute 10.17, leading the timesheets at the moment by a little under a tenth of a second to Yes Motorsport Upsas, as Kryn takes a lot of gravel there on the exit of the chicane off of the oval section. As we mentioned, we're going to get very used to seeing that today without the boothie chicane. Kryn with a huge power slide out of the hairpin, but he will get a lap time in. Kryn currently down in 15th place. Judging by the last corner, I think this won't be an improvement, but we'll see. It is an improvement by 0.06 of a second, so that bumps him up to 14th. On your screen now is Salmonen driving for Team Up Racing now. He made the switch a couple of rounds ago from the Nordic Racing team. Just over 12 minutes left, so we've just passed over the halfway mark in this qualifying session. 28 cars have set a lap time, still waiting for 4 or 5. Born to Race Toon is one of them, who has messed up his last 2 flying lap attempts. So Thilo, what are the drivers going to have to look out for on lap 1 in the XRR with that huge rear wing and all the downforce that this car produces through the twisty sections?
Well, probably the first real challenge is going to be the right-hander after the underpass. Simply when you're following another car pretty close, the loss of aero is so immense that you might end up running wide there, and there is not that much runoff area actually. Yeah, this is going to be the first really crucial moment. The second one probably is going to be the exit from the oval, that quick chicane, because it's easy to make an arrow there, and one mistake can end up pretty horrific on the first lap, because everyone is still close one after another, even that far into the first lap.
Yeah, we're seeing a number of drivers really struggling in qualifying right now. I think we've only seen about 2 completed laps on the stream so far, with 15 minutes gone in this session. We're watching Isaac Price, who also bins the car at that corner. Pushing very, very hard. He's got a little bit of a buffer, but it's only 0.8 of a second, 0.08 of a second, sorry. So he can't get too complacent. He needs to get another lap in to be completely safe, I would say. Yep, Joni Katila has just gone on to provisional pole with a 2:10.09. So a further 0.08 ahead of Isaac. The top 6 currently inside the 2 minute 10s. the top 3 separated by less than 0.2 of a second. Very close qualifying session once again. Last week we were treated to an absolute blast of a qualifying session. I think everybody on the whole field was separated by something like 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds at Falkenberg Gold, which is notoriously tricky on the tyres, especially in the FXO, which is what we were driving last week. Toon finally managed to get a lap in. 29th for him right now, to 14.08. Took him just about 15-16 minutes to do one flying lap, so he'll have a couple of minutes, a couple more attempts if he gets a wriggle on. We're watching TC Racing's Chris McElroy, who is approaching the final hairpin. Chris is down in 21st right now. Looks like a committed lap. I think this car looks fantastic when it's going at full chat. It's such a lively car, but I like it. Looks mean.
Yes, it does, and some describe it as the F08 with bodywork on it. And well, though I cannot agree entirely, it has some of the characteristics actually.
Yeah, Chris didn't improve with that lap time. He remains 21st, but he'll have at least another attempt or two. Probably just about one more attempt, in fact, as we tick into the final 8 minutes of this session. 31 cars have set a lap. Great attendance once again. Remember, this series runs all year. The last round is... Did you say it was at the beginning or the end of November now? It's been changed slightly, hasn't it?
The final round is the last Tuesday of November.
Okay, so it doesn't quite run to the end of the year, but yeah, it runs quite late in the year, and there's still time to sign up on the LFS forum in the Teamwork Racing forum section.
Yeah, we are currently at round 15 of a total 44 rounds in this calendar, so there are plenty of points still available.
We're watching Isaac. He's on a lap and he's going to be trying to get his provisional pole position back as Rocky moves out of the way of him. This is the corner where Isaac dropped it on his last flying attempt, but no such problems this lap as he chucks it into the arena section onto the oval. KY3 uses a clockwise portion of the Kyoto oval. Isaac's going to deal with a little bit more traffic here, but luckily it's on the oval and they move well out of the way. Into the chicane, full speed. Didn't look like he lifted there, maybe a minor lift, but basically flat out for Isaac. Heavy braking into the final hairpin, and it's all about that throttle progression, not wanting to spin up the rears, no such problems for Isaac. TJ's currently on provisional pole, the 209.82. Let's see what Isaac manages here. So TJ has broken the 210 barrier, he's in the 09s. Here comes Isaac. It's fast, but it's not fast enough. 0.02 of a second behind TJ. TJ with an absolutely great lap there, managing to stay ahead of Isaac Price for now. Isaac has to settle for second, and there's just over 5 minutes remaining for him to try and get pole position here.
Good thing for TJ is that today he does not really have to look after his tires. On Friday he was one of the drivers trying a zero-stop strategy at Blackwood.
Yeah, his teammate Pedro Picanco managed the entire 78-lap race around Blackwood GP without a pit stop. The only driver to do so, and he gained a respectable finish with it. I think it was a top 10 in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, he finished 10th.
Yeah, his teammate not so lucky. TJ dropped outside the top 10 after succumbing to a puncture around 5 or 6 laps to go, if I recall.
Yep.
We're watching Mandula in the classic XR GTR Scavia Solutions paint job. It's one of the default paints that was around in 2005. It's
Yeah,
antique.
back when this car came to live for speed. Mandula is currently in 18th position. Also looking to improve his lap time. Now coming into the last couple of corners.
Nice exit out of the chicane. Got the car slowed down. Bit of a squirrel on the entry, but nicely hooked up on the exit. Let's see if this is an improvement. It is.
Yep. Into 14th position at 2:11.74.
Nice lap time that. Top 5. Road appraiser TJ. Isaac Price in second. Yoni Katilla from World Class Lines in third. Yes Motorsports Upsas in fourth. And Conquest Racing Arco in fifth. The only other driver inside the 2-minute 10 barrier is Yes Motorsports Trespasser in sixth place. Gavin Pete in seventh is 800ths of a second outside the 2-minute 10s. Can he get a lap together and join those guys in the 2-minute 10s in the 2.5 minutes that remain in the qualifying session for round 15 of the TRR 2020 Championship? MRC Mega with a big slide out of the last corner. Mega down in 23rd. Can he improve? Does not improve, but it could be a race run. It could actually be that could have been an outlap. Mega will get a chance for this lap and no more. Anyone who leaves the pits now will not have time to set another lap, so everybody is on their penultimate or final lap. If you're out on the track now, you might get time for one more. Mega has hit traffic, and that was not a helpful bit of traffic there. That was looked like a gum livery. Yeah, it was Derinus. Not helpful at all, letting Mega through there. So I don't see this being an improvement already, because Mega's first time was actually okay. Yeah, bails the lap. That's unfortunate. That back marker not helpful at all there. Let's see what Isaac's doing. Isaac's just about to exit the last corner. I think he's on it. Is he on a hot lap? He might be on a hot lap. So this could be.
Yes, he is on a
he's
hot
on a hot
lap.
lap. Yeah, it's a good second split. Let's see what he manages. Can he get provisional pole here with this lap? No.
Oh no.
So close. What was he? 600ths of a second slower than his previous attempt, but TJ just with the better of him. So it looks like TJ, unless anyone else can do a 209 high, it looks like TJ's taken the pole position. Isaac not quite able to.
But TJ is also the last car to now go into a qualifying lap.
Yep, the clock has just counted down to 0. TJ's just gone over start finish. He will be the last car to set a lap. Let's see if he can improve on what is, frankly, a phenomenal lap time, a 2:09.82. He really showed what he was made of in the Bagheera race. He's not been a stranger to the top places in the TRR Championship this year. That's not a great exit from him there, though. This probably won't be an improvement after that. He's coming up to the back of Elmo. No, TJ's backed off. He'll probably complete the lap anyway. He's also following Elmo. He won't be enjoying the dirty air that's being chucked up off the back of that car. But yeah, it's not the TCR driver's fault. It just so happens that that's when TJ started his lap.
Right.
Luckily, TJ able to get out of the way. Well, Chris left him plenty of room. Let's see what TJ's split time is. I'll be surprised if this is an improvement. He's going to finish the lap anyway. Oh, there we go. That's the lap gone. Looks like Elmo has also bailed on his lap. So it'll be 23rd for him.
Really wide.
Yeah, trying to move
So
out of the way of TJ.
think.
Yeah. Alrighty then. So it looks like our grid is set for the first race. 33 times on the board. Road Appraiser TJ's. Road Appraiser's TJ, my mistake, takes pole position for race 1 with a 2:09.82. Joining him on the first row will be Isaac Price. Yoni Katila in third for World Class Lines. Yes Motorsports Upsas in fourth. Conquest Racing Arco in fifth. Yes Motorsport Trespasser in sixth. Then it's his teammate Unite in seventh. Teamwork Racing Zeban and Gavin Peat make up 8th and 9th, with Road Appraiser Pedro rounding out the top 10. World Class Lines Pekka Koivunen in 11th, Rick Cardle from Sidus alongside him in 12th. Ayub and Reject occupy the same row, 13th, 14th for them. T. Salmonen in 15th, Race Green Mandula in 16th. TRR Texas and Crin, TRR teammates next to each other on the grid, 17th and 18th. Then it's Yari Katila in 19th, MRC Michael in 20th, TRR Frank in 21st, Yes Motorsport Number in 22nd, TCR Chris McElroy in 23rd, MRC Mega 24th, Born to Race Ivor 25th, Race Green Autosports Roni 26th. Teamwork Racing's Hydro 18 is in 27th, World Class Lions Timo Soini behind him in 28th, Race Green Autosports Magic in 29th. TRR Classic in 30th. Then it's B2R Twin in 31st, and Gumderinus in 32nd, and Rocky rounds out the 33 car grid on the back row in 33rd position. The first race will be coming up in just a few moments. Stay with us, join us then. We'll be back in just a second. Welcome back, ladies and gents. We are go for race 1. TJ on the front row with Isaac Price alongside.
TJ on the inside for the first chicane, so let's see how this is going to turn out.
Here come the lights, and they're off. That was a very, very quick getaway from the lights there. TJ with a bit of a lag start there. Almost drifted over into Isaac a little bit, but gets away cleanly. Isaac around the outside. TJ not with a great start here.
Clean through the first chicane.
3 wide. Isaac's getting away, but TJ's dropping down the positions. Big contact here. Car's nearly off in the grass. That was Joni Katila making up a couple of places there. He's followed by Upsas now with Ziban behind. TJ down to 5th. Isaac already opening up a gap. Just about a second already.
1.7 seconds already ahead.
So TJ not with the start he would have wanted. Looks like people are making it cleanly through that corner on the opening lap. Plenty of squabbling going on further behind, especially between the two Born to Race teammates, Ayub and Reject.
Mega head off. He had a spin exiting that corner.
Yeah, he's got some front right damage on that car.
Also, Elmo must have had some problems. He's now down to 33rd.
You can add that to his list of accidents and incidents in this series. He was saying before we went live that there should be a stat for the number of races that have gone wrong for him. So you can add that to his list. Very unlucky. Isaac rounding the last corner to complete lap 1. It's a 2-minute lap time, but he makes it seem pretty quick, doesn't he? Here he comes. Joni Katila following him through in 2nd place. Yes Motorsport Upsas a little way back in 3rd with Ziban and TJ down to 5th now. Trespasser 6th. Kevin Pete, who also made the switch to Team One Racing, is in
Mega
7th.
has buried himself in the final corner.
Yeah, Mega in the gravel, that's not going to come out in a hurry. Got a car off in turn 1. Pekka Koivunen, a little bit of damage on that car, but has to move out of the way of everybody. And Roni's going to make full use of that, as well as Yes Motorsport number, who's currently battling with T. Salminen for 20th place. Mega still trying to get out of the grass in the final corner.
Yeah, meanwhile we lost connection to Ayub.
Ivor and Classic side by side. Classic makes the move for now under the underpass. Nice move. Ivor's going to be in the dirty air for that corner. Holds it, but loses a chunk of time as the dirty air just means he hasn't got the downforce he needs. And he washes a bit wide, and now he'll be out of the draft for the oval, so quite a costly overtake that.
Yeah, however, he had the better run through the long left-hander. He's now at the very tail end of the draft. That's going to be interesting through the chicane.
Great move by Frank on Pedro and Crin on the oval there. He managed to get past 2 cars. Crin drops to the back of this trio now, but he's all over the back of Pedro. Ooh, has to go to the inside as he checks up the brakes a little bit. Everyone's squirming to get out of the final chicane. As we round the final corner to start lap 3, Isaac Price then 2.6 seconds ahead of WCL Joni Katila. Joni Katila about half a second ahead of Upsas. Side by side, Krin and Pedro. Pedro going for the move on Frank. Pedro on the inside. Nice move. Krin gets a bit wayward, and that's left the door open for Michael to have a run at him down the short run up to turn 2. Michael on the inside already, and he's already made the move stick before turn 2, so capitalising on Krin's error out of the first corner. That moves Michael up to P14 in the first race. Isaac looking comfortable out front, but it is definitely closing up between Upsas and Joni Katila. Likewise between Zeban and TJ. TJ will be in the dirty air through this section, but he'll be able to close up on the rear end of Zeban's XRR as they make their way onto the oval for the third time. Here comes TJ, he's got a good run. Whether he'll be close enough to make any sort of move into the chicane, we'll have to wait and see. He's a little bit far back, but definitely not letting Zeban get too far away.
Yeah, depending on how he makes the chicane, he might be able to attack him into the hairpin.
They both get a really nice chicane, cutting plenty of the gravel. It looks like a little bit too far back for ascend, but this battle is going to go all the way to the wire, I think. TJ will be kicking himself after that start. Dropped down from pole position to 5th place in a couple of corners, and that's not going to help him.
He pretty much lost everything he gained on the oval part.
Isaac must be enjoying himself out front, but let's wait and see, because in 9 laps time, if it all stays the same, he'll be starting the second race from the back.
Which is probably going to be 33rd, as Mega made it out of the gravel and rejoined the race 1 lap down. Or 2 laps down. No, 1 lap down, sorry.
Yeah, he didn't lose 2 laps, that would be a heck of a pit stop. Ivor moves to the outside. This is the move he's making on Classic. Sorry, not Classic.
That's Hydro.
That's Hydro.
And Hydro is interesting. He's the only one in the field that uses R2R2.
Possibly he forgot to take his qualifying setup off. That's not going to last 12 laps. Well, it might, but it's going to be a handful. Already dropping back is Hydro, down to 24th position.
Yeah, his tires already look a bit roasted.
Zeban is keeping TJ at bay here. I think he's just about got the pace so that when TJ catches him through the sweepers, he can't get any closer, and then when it comes to the long oval section, Zeban just has the legs and TJ's not able to get anywhere near. Remember, TJ lost it out of the... Oh!
Whoa!
Contact!
Late dive!
Absolutely. Wow.
He lost it completely under braking because his tires were completely dusted. Both went through the final chicane very aggressively, and I would suspect that there were all 4 tires on the dirty stuff.
That's given Trespasser a bit of hope of catching up to this duo. Trespasser just outside the top 5 right now. It's getting close between Gavin and Arco behind. Arco in the yellow and white car. Kevin in the blue and white Team Rock Racing livery. Quite impressed at the pace of the front runners in this race. As far as I'm aware, this combo is being used in the Bagheera Zero Mileage GT Cup in a few rounds' time, and it's this car, so everyone here getting a bit of cheeky practice in for that race. Most of the people on this server are involved in that series.
Yeah, and finally, the Ronnie Fun Tuesday race was also using Kyoto and the XRR, but Kyoto National reversed.
Another great combo for the XRR. In fact, I was very tempted to do that myself. Did you do that race?
No, I came home late, so I couldn't make it.
It's been quite a while since I participated in any of Ronnie's races, but they're always fun when I do. Maybe sometime in future I'll be able to find some time. But yeah, KY2R is especially fun in the XRR. I've had some fond memories actually. A few years ago I won a City League race in the XRR at KY2R. One of my very few wins.
Yeah, Hydro retired and just rejoined the race.
So Hydro realising
directly
his mistake.
in front of Isaac.
Yeah.
And no, he's still on R2.
Oh, so hasn't changed his setup. Okay. Strange.
Isaac just with the fastest lap, 2 minute 10.67.
Hydro having to get out of the way of the front runners here, sorry. Apologies for cutting in.
Yeah, no problems. Isaac also holds the 3 sector splits currently, so pretty dominant.
Isaac Price still leads. We're coming up to halfway through race 1. Yoni Katila from World Class Lines is in second, followed by Yes Upsas, who is on screen right now.
Yeah, Upsas is between half a second and 2/3 of a second behind. So it's meandering in that area.
Yeah, TJ is still holding that gap to Zeban, but cannot close it down. It's been 4 laps now since he was able to have a real shot at overtaking. He's had a couple of attempts that have gone wrong. Let's see if it goes wrong again. Very late on the brakes. Both of them get through the final corner cleanly this time around.
They both also had more conservative fast chicanes, not booty chicanes, however you want to call it.
Zeban's done more than enough to stay ahead. He was faster than TJ that lap. TJ didn't have a great final sector there. But he does seem to be able to close Zeban down quite a bit. Is that a car off in the background? Yeah, Trespasser's off in the gravel. That's going to hand that place to not only Gavin Pete but also Unite. So Trespasser gives up 2 places in one corner there. And now Arco's going to say thank you very much and slips up the inside into turn 3. So 3 positions lost for Trespasser in one corner. Unusual mistake that from Trespasser. Now Rick Carlo behind is setting his sights on that position.
Yeah, Rick also had some contact in the beginning of the race. His car has, well, need of a new bumper after this race.
TJ is
Ooh.
right up the back of Zeban now. Zeban's gone wide into the arena section. There's going to be either fireworks or a clean pass. It's going to be one of the two. The two overtakes that TJ's attempted on Zeban haven't gone well. This is going to be his best shot. Will he do it before the chicane or after the chicane? In my opinion, he should wait, but he's going for it. Side by side they go. Will Zeban yield? He has to, yeah. TJ
Yes.
gets through. Nice move.
Yeah, and looking at the tires, Zeban must have had massive understeer in the approach to the long left-hander because his front tires are now pretty hot.
I think TJ's done enough to break the draft up the home straight. It might be close if Zeban's got a bit of a toe. Don't think he's close enough. I think TJ has reclaimed fourth for now. 5 laps to go, including this one.
New fastest lap by Isaac Price, so 2-minute 10.58. Unite is at the tail end of Gavin Pete. Now going to the right side of Gavin. Braking a tad earlier. Gavin on the outside takes more momentum through the corner. And so, yeah, the Finn has to wait a couple of corners more. Gavin with a weird line through the first part of the S's.
Yeah, that's compromised his exit somewhat. United's going to be all over the back of him onto the oval if he can stay tucked under his rear ring. He's managed to drop quite a lot of time through the last phase of the S's there.
It looked like Nico was having trouble with the loss of arrow. But now with a bit cleaner air, he's again closing the gap.
Yeah, he had a nice tight line through the arena section. He's done everything he needs to do to get the slipstream of Gavin Pete. I don't think there's going to be enough time, is there? Oh, it's going to be close. He makes the move to the outside, but yeah, he's not going to have enough time before the chicane. He'll have to do it into the hairpin. But yeah, still tricky to follow through the chicane, loses a bit of time. All the while these two are battling, that's going to let Arco Unite and Rick Cardle catch up. As Isaac begins lap 8 of 12. We're watching
Well, he completed lap 8. He's now starting lap 9 of 12.
Gavin Pete on the screen. This is the battle for 6th place between Teamwork Racing and Yes Motorsport.
Unite with a great first chicane.
You could see he had a much tighter, cleaner line through the first corner. And he's going to try and make the move here. Does the switchback, moves to the outside, but will be on the inside for turn 2. Ooh, Gavin goes very deep on the brakes, locks up, and that's going to allow Unite to pass through. Great move, great pressure from Unite, from Nico Pantola, our current championship leader. Can Gavin respond? It's one thing to catch up to someone here, but getting past is another thing. And you often feel that when you've got past, when someone's got past you, it's very difficult to stay with them and get back past, even if you are on similar pace. Just because of the aero loss around the twisty section, like you can see the gap that's already opened up between these two.
Yeah, also Gavin struggles now with hot front tires due to running wide into the first real braking zone.
Although there's not a move on, the gap between Joni Katila and Upsas is quite impressive. They've been keeping each other honest this whole race in second and third place as they both come down into the final chicane. They've got a bit of traffic to contend with here, so this might compromise Joni's exit a bit. It does. The Gum Garage car not moving out of the way particularly well for Joni.
Neither for Upsas.
Yeah, took to the sausage curbs on the inside to let Upsas through, but it would have put him off a bit.
Gavin is now under attack by Trespasser.
Alright, so Gavin definitely with a lack of momentum after being passed by Unite on the previous lap, on this lap that they're currently on. 3 laps to go. Trespasser moves to the inside for turn 1. And he's passed before we even get to turn 1. Gavin all over the place at the moment and under threat now from Arco and Rick Cardle behind. Rick's been catching up to Arco, and Arco is going to want to get past Trespasser as quickly, Gavin as quickly as possible. He does into turn 2. Rick very sideways out of there in the purple and white and yellow Sidus Motorsport car. And up past the first sector time, Rick is going to be all over the back of Gavin as we've got Mega off in the gravel, I think, at the top of the sweepers. I think that was Mega.
Yeah, it's Mega.
Or Rick with a compromised exit there in the dirty air. But again, Gavin not able to get the car turned in particularly well. We've got a car backwards. Is that Rocky?
That was Magic.
Magic, okay. Magic backwards in that corner, trying to get out of the gravel. Luckily no one careers into him. There would have been yellow flags in that sector. So good driving by all. Might be a move on further back between Frank and Reject. Thilo, keep your eyes further forward on that battle. I'll keep you posted on this one. Frank moves to the inside for the chicane next to Reject and makes the move stick. Nice move up to 11th place for Frank. Unless Reject can have anything to say about it, which doesn't look like he will. Yeah, Rick Cardle has just about got the slipstream. Will it be enough to get past with 2 laps to go?
He actually was much closer to Gavin Pete, but Gavin had a horrible chicane and Rick actually had to lift to not crash into him.
Right, well, it looks like he's going to close up again here. He's done very well to keep so close through turn 1 and 2, but still a little bit too far away, I'd say. With 2 laps to go, Isaac Price out front, Joni Katila second, Upsas third, TJ fourth, Zeban fifth, Unite sixth, Trespasser seventh, Arco eighth, and then this battle between Gavin Pete and Rick Cardle in 9th and 10th respectively. Wow, look how close Rick's able to follow through here. Really giving his tyres a workout. It's so important to try and stay tucked under that rear wing, but yeah, by the end of the section he's just lost all of that advantage and he's miles back, so maybe he needed to stay a little bit further back into that section and catch towards the end.
But you can really see how Gavin struggles with grip as through the faster corners. Oh, someone goes off. Who's that? Oh, that's one of the gun cars.
It's
a
Derinus
back marker.
getting out of the way. Is Rick close enough to make the move? Not quite, I don't think. Not on this lap anyway. He just needs to focus on the chicane and the last corner. He's flashing his headlights, he's trying to distract Gavin. LMP1 strategy is going on. Gavin with a nice chicane, Rick also, but the gap's just a little bit too big right now.
Yeah, but Gavin has much dust on his tires. And he runs wide because of it.
just not been able to capitalise as much as he should have been able to from that huge slide by Gavin, and Rick's just not there. We're on the last lap. He's not gonna. He's got to get the sweeps right if he wants this position. This is the closest battle on the track right now. We've got some drama down the back of the field. It looks like the gum car just stopped on the track to let everyone through. But yeah, we'll keep the cameras focused on this battle between Rick Cardle and Gavin Peat, because it doesn't look like there's anything more going on up ahead right now.
No.
Anyway, look at how close he is here. I mean, he needs to drop back and attack in the last part of this sweeping section. Needs to make sure he gets a great exit. You don't want to be too close through these next couple. Yeah, takes the wider line. Still a car off in the grass back there. Who's that? Was that looked like a WCL
That's
car?
Katila. That's
Jari
Jari
Katila.
Katila.
Yeah, Joni Katila is in second place still. But yeah, Rick not able to get the exit, so stayed too close at the beginning of the sweeps, and the gap opens back up towards the end. And Gavin this time gets a nice entry into the arena section, but pushes wide, and now that's opened the door for Rick. Look at this. On the last lap, we could have a move on for 9th place in the race. Rick's going to have to get it done before the chicane. He's going to have to just go for it and defend into the hairpin, because he doesn't want to waste any more opportunities. Side by side they go. Gavin still... Oh, contact! Gavin onto the gravel. Both cars onto the gravel. Luckily, no more drama.
Yeah.
And it looks like that is that. Isaac wins race
Isaac.
1. Yep. so quick and so far ahead that we nearly missed it. Joni Katila in second. Upsas in third for Yes Motorsport. TJ comes across the line from pole position down to 4th. He recovered from 5th. Zeban in 5th. Unite will cross the line in 6th. Then it's Trespasser close behind in 7th. Arco in 8th. Then on the last lap with that great move on Gavin into the chicane comes Rick Cardle in 9th. Gavin Peat rounds out the top 10. Reject will come across the line in 11th with Crin closely followed behind in 12th. Then it'll be Frank in 13th with with Pedro in 14th. Ronnie in 15th. Number for Yes Motorsport in 16th. World Class Lions Pekka Koivunen 17th. Michael, Salmonen, Ivor and Mandula. Then it's Elmo for TC Racing in 22nd.
Classic just overtook Twin in the final chicane for a 23rd position. Texas comes in 25th. Fikestar in 26th. And we're waiting for Rocky and Soini in 27th and 8th. That leaves Gum Derenius in 29th, Magic in 30th, Mega in 31st, now 2 laps down after being stuck in the gravel for 2 times in the race, and Hydro in 32nd. However, he rejoined the race, and he should be able to start from pole position, from what I recall the rules are.
That was a pretty great race. There were some really nice moves going on, very clean driving from everybody. Well done to Isaac for a flawless race, getting the lead very early on from TJ, who somewhat wobbled his start a bit. He's going to look forward to a reverse grid start now, starting way down in what should be 33rd place for him. We will be back very shortly for the beginning of the reverse grid race. Stay tuned. Welcome back to round 15 of the TRR 2020 Championship. We're moments away from the start of race 2, the reverse grid race. We're looking at another 33 car grid. Isaac Price, who won the last race, will start at the back, and we will find out who our pole sitter is in just a few moments. Here we go then. It's Mega. Mega starts race 2 from the pole position. Race Green and Magic will start alongside him. They're off. Mega with a good launch. Magic also with a nice start as they all file up towards the first corner. 34 cars in this race. 3 wide in the background, 4 wide in the background. Magic manages to go around the outside nearly. Mega manages to keep it on. Ronnie off in the background. So far so good. How's Isaac getting on? He's in the middle of this somewhere. He's already up to 28th place. Lots of lagging around here. Oh, someone spun out in front of Isaac. Zeban, yeah. Wow. Isaac manages to somehow avoid all the carnage so far. Meanwhile,
yeah, Zeban and Fire Extra stuck into the gravel.
Yeah, they have to retire. They go back to the pits. Meanwhile, Mega's opened up a bit of a gap over Magic. Texas is under threat from... Derenis is under threat from Classic into that corner on the first lap. You need to be careful of the slipstream. Classic to the inside. Derenis leaves the space but runs off, and that's going to be a spin into the wall for Derenis. Will he rejoin safely? Oh, he rejoins in front of some people. Forces Gavin Peat off onto the grass.
Yeah, also Elmo seemed to be involved in this. He's now down to 32nd.
Oh no, we've got Rick Cardle side by side with side by side with Arco. Contact, door banging, 3 wide in the background. There's a move on between Pedro and Gavin Peat. Pedro on the inside will make the move stick before the chicane. Gavin, then Rick Cardle behind. These guys with a great start. Isaac is up to 23rd, but these guys have had a really nice start ahead. Seems like harder work at the back. Oh, Michael gets spun round in the background. Michael drops way down the order, has to rejoin in 27th place. Let's all go at the front. We've got Mega out front with Magic followed very closely behind. Then it's Texas Mandula who's being bullied by Classic. Then it's Tom Salmonen in 6th, followed by Born to Race Ivor and Pedro. Twin. Rocky. Rick has managed to get past Gavin. But Gavin doesn't have worn out tyres at this stage of the race this time, so straight back he comes, makes the move and collides actually with Rocky, so caught out a little bit by Rocky. Not braking as late as he did, and that's caught him out a little bit. He's managed to drop back down as a result of that, and now he's under threat from Trespasser. This is the beauty of a reverse grid race. You end up with battles like this up and down the grid for most of the opening laps. That's Pekka Koivunen off onto the grass in the background. Has to yield the position to these guys. Arco defending hard.
There's a question in the chat if Frank can win this. I doubt it, because he just made a pit stop after having contact on lap 1 with Isaac Price.
Rocky meanwhile defending from Unite. Unite gets through on the inside. Rocky now under threat from Upsas. Upsas in a battle with Arco. Arco and TJ. TJ with a good start. He's up to 17th. Isaac is up to 20th, 3 wide almost here. TJ leads, Upsas leads Arco into the chicane. Arco gets a good run, moves to the inside. Contact. And he's through on Upsas. Nice move. Rocky's still defending well from Unite here. Plenty of drifting action. Struggling to control the rear end of the XRR on the cold tyres. But he's held a good number of the quick guys off for 2 laps now. So fair play. You can see Isaac in the background there, up to 18th. And Unite gives Rocky a very wide berth up to turn 1. Rocky's still holding the line on the outside, but Unite does get through in the end, and now it's TJ's turn. TJ's so sideways.
He clipped the curb in a very awkward way. And so Upsas can go through, but Arco bumps himself into the position to attack Upsas, but Upsas keeps his nose ahead in 14th position.
Here comes Isaac Price then. Let's stay with Isaac as he tries to wiggle his way through the cars ahead. Isaac in the bright yellow zero mileage lubricants car. He's looking all over the back of series organiser Rocky into the arena. Rocky goes defensive on him. Probably a bit unnecessary, but you're allowed to defend your position. Isaac goes through. And up to 17th for Isaac Price. Mandula now leads the race, ahead of Texas and Classic. Looks like Magic and Mega had it coming together or something, because they're way down the order now. Magic is dropping down the order even further, so let's see what happened to him.
Magic was stationary there in the final chicane, and Pedro also joined the spectators, and someone else was also stationary there.
Yeah, so we missed a bit of action down into the hairpin, it looks like, because Mandula takes over the lead, Texas second, then this battle between the TRR teammates of Tom Salmonen and TRR Classic. Salmonen gets ahead of his teammate on the home straight, moves up to third. Podium position for now for Salmonen. Rick Cardle and Gavin Peet still going at it, but Rick's managed to open up a bit of a gap to Gavin. And side by side in the background, it's Unite and teammate Trespasser. Seems like Unite, Trespasser and Upsas spend most of the TRR Championship battling with each other, especially recent races.
Yes, Upsas down there in 9th position is currently the highest climber. He managed to win 19 positions.
That's impressive off the start. Isaac, meanwhile, up to 11th. He's 1 place off the top 10. Unite, our championship leader, in 7th currently.
Yeah, some sort of contact or communication with teammates, because he just used his hazard lights. In Yes Motorsport pulling team maneuvers in the last round. I doubt currently that they are going to do it right now and here.
No, Unite is ahead. He's currently the top Yes Motorsport driver in the race, so team orders shouldn't really be necessary right now. Closest battle on track seems to be the battle between Born to Race Ivor and Joni Katila. Joni Katila finished the last race in 2nd, but hasn't managed to get as good a start as Isaac. Isaac's a couple of cars up ahead, so Ivor and Joni Katila battling hard. Yoni with the advantage as they head onto the back straight.
Ivar has quite some suspension damage.
Wonder where he picked that up. Maybe from the sausages at the chicane. He still holds Yoni for now. Gets back
I
past.
think he had some contact with other cars or something, because it's hard to see because the front of the car is black, but there was... Ricardo is in the gravel and joined spectators. No, not yet.
That's a big hit. He's out into the wall there. Gavin Peat then promoted up to 4th place. Not sure what happened there. Possibly contact, possibly just dropped it, but Gavin's car looks absolutely spotless, so I'm going to say that, as a guess, Rick dropped it into the second corner. Can confirm that after the race, I'm sure. He's still in the gravel. He's not going to get out. He may as well retire the car from there. He's not going to get out of there. Mandula then.
Maybe he thinks about the championship, because when you finish, you still got points.
Well, I would always try to finish the race, but he's pretty beached there. He's going to be at least half a minute trying to get free. And if points for 34th are worth it for him, then by all means carry on. But that is where he currently sits, 33rd position. Mandula coming up to the final sector, in the final sector now, on lap 4. He's followed by the TRR trio of Texas, Salmonen and now Gavin Peat, after Rick Cardle put his car on the wall. Then it's the Yes Motorsport duo of Upsas and Trespasser. TJ's managed to get past Unite though. TJ up to 7th, Isaac currently up to 9th. And here is the battle we're talking about. Isaac's going to be watching it. Side by side, Unite and TJ up ahead. Wonder if Isaac's going to have both of them here. Yet straight through the middle. What a move! Isaac gets 2 of them on the back straight. So while those two were worrying about each other, Isaac says thank you very much. Great move up to 7th for Isaac Price. Rick's still in the gravel in the background, still trying to get that car freed.
Yeah, Isaac 23 positions up from where he started. So in terms of positions gained, he's equal to Upsas.
Yeah, this is sensational driving. He's now going to be up at the back of Trespasser before too long. Whether he'll go for the move before that corner. Has to back off, and we'll try and get the move done on the oval. A little bit too far back, possibly. We might just have the slipstream. We'll have to wait for another opportunity further on in the lap. Just a reminder to everyone watching, if you are interested in joining the Team Rock Racing 2020 Championship, the series you're watching right now, you can. It runs until early November. We're on round 15 of 44. You can sign up on the LFS forum in the Team Rock Racing 2020 Championship subsection. We'll be glad to have you. 6 laps to go. Mandula leads from Tom Salmonen, Gavin Peat, Yes Motorsport Obsessed, Texas, Trespasser, and this man, Isaac Price. Unite and TJ behind. Conquest Racing Arco rounds out the top 10 currently. There was a little bit of argy-bargy at the beginning of the race, but everyone behaving themselves very well right now. It's been one of the cleanest events this series that I've commentated on. Great racing up and down the grid.
Trespasser now battling with Texas, which opens the door for Isaac Price, who simply goes by and says thank you.
Isaac up to 6th. Now Unite's got past Trespasser into the arena, and Trespasser is under threat from TJ already. Isaac's up the back of Texas now. Not sure who to focus on. We'll stay with Isaac. He's going to be making the move while Unite and TJ are going at it in the background. Isaac will get the move done before the chicane. Yeah, Texas doesn't defend that place particularly hard. Meanwhile, Unite, TJ side by side. TJ has the line still. Oh, goes very deep. Oh, hits Trespasser. And Unite gets back through, but forces Trespasser wide, and Trespasser loses 2 more places. TJ in this race has been going way too deep on the brakes, and that time there was contact with Trespasser. TJ and Unite still side by side. Unite gets the slipstream back, but it's too late. TJ has the inside and will hold that position for now. That's Arco in the background who's eyeing up all of this. But yeah, Trespasser will not be happy with that. Trespasser getting past Arco for 9th place, but he wants to be further ahead. He was in 6th or 7th a minute ago. Isaac is inside the top 5, and he's closing down the gap very quickly to Salmonen, Upsas and Gavin.
He's also just 4 seconds behind Mandula in the lead, which is totally doable with his pace, if he comes around the other 3 cars in between them rather quickly.
Yeah, so we're watching the charging Isaac Price, who started down in 33rd position, or close to that, maybe 30th, somewhere around there, and he's already up to 5th. At the end of this lap there'll be 4 to go. So in 7.5 laps he's managed to gain...
Upsas is making a move up ahead against Pete.
Makes it stick into the chicane.
Oh, and Pete runs wide.
Gavin runs really, really wide. So does Salmonen, and Isaac's going to be all over the back of him into the hairpin. Isaac on the outside. Salmonen goes defensive. Isaac will have to slot in behind. Salmonen sideways. Couldn't get the car pointed in the right direction, and Isaac slips through. Isaac up to 4th.
And 3 laps to go. Oh, Elmo is stationary in that corner in the gravel.
It looks like Rick Cardle managed to get free. So he's away, he's somewhere, as Isaac makes the move on Gavin Pete for 3rd place. He's on the podium now. He must be loving this. If you've just tuned in, you've missed a lot of action. We're coming up to the latter stages of race 2 of round 15 of the TRR 2020 Championship. We're watching Isaac Price, who won the first race and has had a storming run in this race. He's up to 3rd already from the back. and we think it's very possible, as he passes the stricken TC Racing car of Elmo, we think it's very possible that he might take the win in race 2 with his current pace, if he can get past Yes Motorsports Upsas and Race Green Autosports Mandula. As you can see, he's now closing up to the back of Upsas's car. Nice chicane from both drivers, but it's only a matter of time, I think, before Isaac will be in Upsas's slipstream. Look how much deeper Isaac goes on the brakes, and so smooth with the car out of the corner. Upsas struggling for grip, and Isaac's just out for a Sunday drive. He's hooked it up completely, and now it's going to be a simple draft overtake down the back straight, over start finish.
And he also sets fastest lap.
Upsas is coming back at him.
Oops.
He's perfectly entitled to make that move, and it's just holding Isaac up at this point. Isaac makes the switch back, but Upsas perfectly entitled to defend his position into turn 1. And now he's going to have another go into turn 3. Isaac takes the more defensive line. Upsas trying to hold it around the outside. Side by side action here. This is great. Upsas still there and keeps the position. All the while, Mandula is going to be saying thank you very much to Upsas, because Upsas is doing a great job of defending. It's allowed Gavin Peat to catch up a little bit. Great defensive work from Upsas.
It's really interesting to monitor both cars, as Upsas' car is always a little bit more sideways, a bit more of movement in the car through the corners, while Isaac is simply smooth.
Yeah, Isaac has dropped back a fair bit. There's not going to be a move on into the chicane or probably the hairpin at this rate. I don't think Isaac will be close enough, and we're running out of laps. At this point, I think Isaac will not win this race. Mandula is just too far ahead, so barring any mistakes, the best Isaac can hope for is P2. As I say that, he has made the lunge into the hairpin, and now Mandula doesn't look so far away. When we cross the line, there will be 2 laps to go. And now Isaac has a little over 4.5 minutes to catch down the XRR of Race Green Mandula.
Mandula's best lap is 2 seconds off Isaac's best lap, which is the fastest lap of the race at 2 minutes 10.88.
Yeah, I think this is definitely back on. Upsas did a great job of trying to hold him off, but Mandula's going to come under threat here very quickly. If not this lap, probably next lap. Mandula has some traffic to deal with as well. TC Racing's Chris McElroy is going to come under the blue flags. Should already be showing the blue flags. Moves well out of the way. And now Isaac Price will have to deal with the traffic.
So we see
Upsas off into the grass. Upsas in the wall, in fact, and that's let Gavin Peat and TJ and Unite come through. Sorry for interrupting. So Upsas out of the podium position then. That promotes Gavin up to 3rd place.
I just wanted to say that we're currently having the 2 double winners of the Bagheera GT Cup from Friday, as Mandula won both races in the Division 2. Isaac won both races in Division 1.
Yeah, it's a shame. We'll try and report more from the other grids in the upcoming Bagheera races. There was, as far as we were aware, some pretty great racing happening in the lower divisions, but obviously we couldn't see it. But it does look like Isaac is going to be battling for the lead of this race in a matter of seconds. We're on the final lap now. Isaac Price from the back of the grid is now in second place and within a second of Mandula.
Yeah, another fastest lap by Isaac Price, 2 minute 10.78.
If you've watched every single race in the TRR 2020 Championship and you're wondering who is this Isaac guy who's just turned up and dominated, well, Isaac is no stranger to LFS or sim racing. He is was the McLaren's world fastest gamer runner-up. He is a Williams esports driver, previous iRacing world champion, and started sim racing in Live for Speed a number of years ago. Has driven in iRacing and other sims over the last couple of years, but he's back to participate in the Bagheera Championship and fancied some XRR today as he moves to the outside at that corner. And Mandula puts up a bit of a defence, but through comes Isaac Price into the arena to take over the lead in race 2. That's how you do it. Looks like it's going to be 2 from 2 barring any incidents. We're on the last lap.
Yeah, gaining 29 places in 11 and a half lap.
Great to see Isaac back at the wheel of a car in LFS, one of the all-time greats, and he rounds the last corner to take victory in race 2 of round 15 of the TRR 2020 Championship. Congrats, 2 from 2 for Isaac. Then it's Race Green Mandula, good effort. Then it's Gavin Pete. TJ side by side with Unite across the line. TJ just got ahead, I think. Yeah, just about. Then it's Upsas in 6th. Salmonen will cross the line in 7th. Trespasser in 8th. Arco 9th. Reject in 10th. Joni Katila 11th. Texas 13th. Pekka Koivunen 13th. Hydro 14th. Crin 15th. Number in 16th. Then it's Ayub across the line. Classic in 18th place.
Yeah, Classic. Yeah. Classic has lost a couple of positions by spinning into the long left-hander start-finish straight. Not sure what happened there.
Jari Katila 19th, Soini 20th, Michael, Zeban, Twin, and Derinus in 24th. Just waiting for a few more cars to come around and finish the race. Anyone who is rooting for Frank came across the line in 25th, Roni's just behind in 26th, Magic in 27th, Firexter 28th, Rocky will cross the line in 29th place. 29th. Mega, followed by Rick Cardle and Elmo in 32nd place. And as far as I know, that wraps up all of the finishers in the second race. We are open to interviews. If anybody of the drivers would like to come and have a chat, you can join the TRR Discord. Join the stream waiting room channel. We'll be here for a few more minutes. I think this was a very, very nice round. One of the best rounds we've seen in this championship so far. Was helped by a great combo of the XR GTR at Kyoto GP Long. How would you summarise the race today, Thilo?
It was really impressive to see the whole field acting so clean throughout the traffic, throughout the reversed grid. It was really nice to see. Of course, reversed grid always means that there is lots of entertainment throughout the field, and probably we only glimpsed a slightly bit of it. But yeah, it was very entertaining, both races indeed. And I think we've got Isaac Price joining us.
Great, let's have a chat to the man himself, Isaac Price. Hi
Hello.
Isaac, congrats, 2 from 2. What did you make of your Teamwork Racing Championship debut?
Yeah, it was a fun format. The second race, I didn't really know if I could win or not until the very last lap. I didn't really know what pace the guy who managed to break out front was doing. So I just kind of hoped I could get to P2 as quickly as possible and then see if I could catch the gap or not. It took me a lap longer than I'd have hoped because I didn't quite get the pass right the first time for P2. But yeah, it was a really fun race. I really enjoyed it. I think a few other people had more dramatic races in terms of accidents and stuff, but for me it was fairly clean. I kind of tried to not risk my car as too much. I mean, when you're going from last to first, you kind of are going to risk your car at some points, but I was trying to, as much as possible, just do it on the straights.
Yeah, we saw you had a bit of a challenge getting past Yes Motorsports Upsas on the second to last lap. We thought your win was dropping out of your reach, but you managed to clinch it on the oval on the last lap, which was great to watch. Yeah, will you be sticking around for any more races, or is it just the combo that you kind of fancied today?
I mean, if there's some other races that if I'm not too busy or whatever, I'll give them a go. I mean, why not? Yeah, I mean, I just kind of tried this combo for fun, and yeah, so I don't see why I wouldn't do any more races, but we'll see how it.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, congrats. 2 from 2 is impressive, especially in a reverse grid format. Yeah, if you fancy joining us for any more of the races, you're more than welcome, obviously. Be great to see you back. I think we're going to try and wrap up here unless we have any other drivers waiting for an interview. Otherwise, thank you very much, Thilo, for joining me in the commentary box. Thank you, Isaac, for the interview. Join us again next week for round 16 of the championship. If my memory serves me, where are we next week, Thilo?
I have to look at that as well.
Yeah, let's quickly check where we are next week. Next week we'll be
So
at Aston Grand Touring Reversed in the Formula One car, the BF1. That's going to be interesting. 2 9-lap races, 25 minutes qualifying again. And that will begin at 8 o'clock UTC +1, as usual. And they're going to be quite short races, I'd say. 9 laps of that car at that track is not a lot of track time, but it should be interesting nonetheless. So thank you very much for joining me, Thilo. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, we are on a new Twitch channel. The remainder of the races for the TRR 2020 Championship will be broadcast from this channel, so please consider following if you want to be notified of any future events that we are streaming. We'll be back next week for round 16 at Aston Grand Touring Reversed. Thank you for watching. Good night.